Hey Kankana, how are you?
Hi Atika. How are you? I'm fine, thanks.
All well. I've been watching all of your movies, शुरुआत से लेके आखिर तक, and I must tell you, as a viewer, as a person, as a lover of cinema, I love you.
Oh, so sweet. Mwah. I love you too. Thank you.
And thank you for being so resolute about doing good work that you never budge from it and you always
Well,
do good work and
we
quality
try.
work.
We try.
Yeah. And I'm so fond of your work that I'm shooting this on my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
all, I'm constantly working on my birthday, so
When is your birthday?
3rd of December.
Tell me, Kankana, what was on your mind when you said yes to Mumbai Diaries?
Well, I hadn't actually done a web series before this, and I knew Nikhil from earlier. So, I kind of had some faith in his sensibilities. I knew he would do a decent job of this. I had never, I hadn't ever taken part in a medical drama, and as far as I know, this is one of the first medical dramas in India. I think there've been very few, if any at all. So I thought it's a nice, very new perspective to look at a crisis, to look at the events of 2611, but from the point of view of a government hospital. I play Chitra Das, and she is the social services director in Bombay General Hospital. Which means she looks after the cases where some families may need financial assistance, and if they need to do any, then they apply through her, and she kind of decides which cases are worthy of financial assistance, etc.
And having done this role, have you kind of formed an opinion about the medical situation in India?
I think that one needs to be far more informed to form an opinion on the medical situation in India. But would like to say that this is something we've known from before, that all Indians don't have access to good medical care. I mean, we don't have access to a high level of health care. I think very privileged and elite people like us have, access to healthcare where we have, I don't know, phone numbers of doctors on our phone books, in our phone books, etc. But most people, the regular people, don't.
Absolutely. What a lovely family that you come from. Not just your parents, but your grandfather, Chidanand Das Gupta, was the co-founder of Calcutta Film Society back
That's
in 1947, that too with Satyajit Ray, the Satyajit Ray. Tell me, what are the qualities that you have imbibed from him, and have you spent enough time with him? Do you have avid memories of him?
I have spent a lot of time with him actually, with both him and my grandmother. They lived, till their mid 80s, I think. And they used to earlier live in Delhi when I was very young, but they moved to Shantiniketan in
Wow.
West Bengal, which is Rabindranath Tagore's university town, where
Hmm.
he had his university. So they moved there, I think, in 85 or 86, I'm not sure. So I've been going to Shantiniketan to their house from a young age, and I have many, many lovely memories, and we still go, of course, now. We try and gather there every winter because it's really beautiful, and my grandparents' house is still there. So, and I was very close to them actually, both of them. Um, I think we don't have a lot of generation gap in my family. I mean, I'm close to my mother, my father, my grandparents. I mean, we don't. Because you know why? The credit goes to them because they've always been people with whom you can be yourself. You don't have to hide.
Yeah.
My parents
Yeah.
have, they have to behave like this. Oh, grandparents, I
Yeah.
can't do this. You can be yourself, with them. That was very liberating.
Interesting. And now that you have been kind of spent a lot of time with your grandparents and your parents, knowing the world of arts and cinema and culture and movies, at what age did you start getting your son, Haroon, to the film set or to script reading?
With Haroon, I would say it's slightly different because he has been coming with both his father and me to film sets since he was very young because we didn't really have an option. When he was in a lower class, whatever, this junior KG class 1, 2, we would take him with us everywhere. Now, actually, it's more difficult because, school is particular and, the regularity of attendance and, especially now with online school and COVID, etc. It's nice to have some things kind of, set and certain instead of constantly being in the state of flux. What's going to happen tomorrow? We don't know. That
True.
would be nice.
And did you bring him to the sets of 2611, Mumbai Diaries?
He has come. He must have come because Mumbai Diaries we shot in Film City in Mumbai. So, often, like, especially on a weekend or something, weekdays, he's very busy, with his playing and his classes and his homework and all that.
Yeah.
But weekends, so he comes once in a while. He doesn't come for very long because what is he going to do in a van, bichara? He'll come and see the set, or he'll come and hang in my van with his games and his iPad and whatever. He comes once in a while. He comes even when I'm in Bombay.
या उससे एक डर ये लगता है या तो बच्चे को हमारे प्रोफेशन से बहुत प्यार हो जाएगा या तो उनको उसका चस्का चढ़ जाता है, दे स्टार्ट लविंग इट दैट प्रोफेशन, या बिल्कुल ही उससे दूर हो जाते हैं कि यार शुरू से मम्मा को यही करते देखा है.
Oh, right. No, actually, honestly, we are quite easy. मतलब उसको अच्छा लग रहा है, बुरा लग रहा है, क्या करना है, नहीं करना है. It's, on him. As long as he's independent and, मतलब he can look after himself. Once he's an adult, then it's his wish, what he wants to do.
Yeah, and talk about 26/11. I remember I was in IFFI, Goa, the film festival, and I was in a terrible state of shock, thinking कि पूरा Bombay is under attack, and I refused to come back to Mumbai. I was in Goa at that time. Where were you, and how did it change you as a person that day?
No, that's what I was not in town myself. And in fact, I had we had driven outside of Mumbai somewhere for I think for some celebration or something, and we got the news, and network is not good. The news was also kind of trickling in slowly. We couldn't really get a handle on the event because initially, remember, it was like, oh, acha, yahan pe kuch hua hai. Nahi, अभी हॉस्पिटल में घुस गए हैं, अभी लियोपोल्ड में कुछ हुआ है. So it was like multiple locations. We really didn't have a handle on what was happening, and it was not finishing. It was not like एक blast हुआ बस खत्म बात. It was not like that. It went on over 3 days. It was over multiple locations. So we also were not getting an idea ki what exactly has happened. When will it stop? Is it safe to come back to Mumbai now? Are our other friends and family safe in Mumbai? So it was a very difficult time. It was a very confusing and terrifying time. But luckily, we were fine. Me and my family, we were friends, whatever. We were absolutely fine. It was just that we were in a state of shock and disbelief that something like this could have happened in Mumbai. And at that point, everybody was the same.
Totally yes. Konka, you've been a Yash Raj film heroine too, as well as Christ National Award winning actor. Is it a coincidence that mostly we see you in meaningful roles and not in those super glamorous roles, which you actually did in a couple of them, but not mostly? Is it a coincidence, or maybe it is a choice that you have made?
See, I think everything is not in the hands of the actor. Because, it depends which films you're offered, how well those films do, those kind of things, what your own sensibility is. So it's a mix of things. It's not like I have anything against any kind of cinema. So I wanted to try out many different kinds of things. Something or the other has to appeal to you. Either the director is very nice, or the script is very well written, or it's a very unusual character, or whatever it is. You have to find a reason to do a film. So when I got those roles, there was no need to say no कि अरे ये तो commercial film है या mainstream film है, मैं क्यों करूँ? ऐसा तो था ही नहीं कुछ. I had nothing against. I think if anything, I was and I liked the role. In Ajan actually, it was such a sweet, like a very cute kind of a character. Bindas, not just somebody who's not really grown up yet, and lovely cast. Fantastic director. It was Anil Mehta's debut as director. So I'm so glad we did that film. I'm working with Madhuri. It was really lovely. So there was no reason. I looked at that time. I looked at the films individually as scripts. It's great that Yash Raj was producing it, which meant that it would get released. Many times there are films which are interesting films, good films, which don't find a good release or a distributor, or whatever it is. So that was good. Even Laga Chunri Mein Daag I did with them. Wake Up Sid I did with Dharma. But what is interesting is that my mainstream films, like for me, that's mainstream, I'm doing Wake Up Sid with Dharma, or if I do Ajan Achli with Yash Raj. But for them, it's their alternative film. They're like Yash Raj ne ek aisa kar liya hai, along with their many, more mainstream commercial films, or Dharma, for example.
Okay, and I've had this discussion with several actors. You do this 3-hour film, and then you do a web series which has about 8 to 9 episodes. Do the web series pay more?
What is very sad is that there still exists a gender pay gap where men are getting paid more than women, and it's just I don't know, it's what it's called, malpractice. It's unjust, unfair. There are so many women who are the sole breadwinners of their family. It's so regressive and stupid, and unfair. So that is definitely the case. But yeah, I guess more number of days you could get paid more, but it depends, on the production and on your deal.
Also, tell me now that you've always voiced your opinions, Konkana, and you've talked about the things that need to be changed in the society, in the film industry. Tell me now that you're a little over 40, do women get sexier and wiser after 40?
I think so, apparently. I mean, I definitely feel much more attractive and confident, actually, today than I did when I was 22, you know,
Yeah.
than in my 20s. I mean, in my case, that's true. I don't think it's the same for everyone. And it doesn't have to be. Different people can reach, you know, whatever different people feel differently about themselves, like, I mean, my 30s were also very much taken up with having a baby, a small child. So, for other people, 30s, maybe now
Yes.
I'm enjoying it more in my 40s.
Yeah, actually,
It depends on
actually with
person to
Harun,
person.
yeah, Harun
Yeah.
around 10, I guess you're over that feeding him,
The
buckling
very
him, and
small, yeah, child thing. Yeah.
got it. So tell me, while shooting 2611, what is the hardest day of shoot you will always remember? Is there any?
Well, I think that one of the things that which is not difficult, but personally I found a little difficult, was the fact that I had to do this really true to one little action sequence, nothing much. But for me, it was a lot because I don't really do, too much action. And I had to wear this harness and kind of fly. There's an explosion and I'm flying off. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. Please get a
Okay.
stunt double and, get somebody else to do it. And then Nikhil was like, no, we can't. We need to see you kind of land and it has to be you, whatever. And it was very nice because he kept saying that it's okay. It's very easy. I'll do it and show you, Everybody kept saying, it's very easy, I'll do it. So the peer pressure, I had to do it. That I remember because I made such a big fuss about it at that time, which is like so embarrassing now. And then I did it and it really wasn't that bad.
Tell me, as an actor, how well do you take care of your physical strength and your mental health? What do you do?
So, I really believe from my mother, I've inherited this thing that moderation, I feel, is the key to, living a healthy kind of a life in terms of like, a well-balanced life. So, there are some things you have to do for your soul also, whether it's eating some ice cream in the night or, staying up late, reading something fun, watching something fun. Those things are
Yeah.
also equally important, I feel, for your mental health. But also kind of, trying to consistently, like I've been doing yoga now for many years. So I consistently try to do my yoga and physical training at least 3 to 4 times a week. I'm not the most healthy and fit person either, but I'm definitely much more than I was in my 20s.
Kamsa, tell me, you were born in a Bengali family, which are known to be intellectually oriented. When you came into the mainstream world, was there any shocker that you got about the real world versus the world that you were brought up in?
No, I was always aware of the world at large. I mean, it's not like I was so sheltered and protected कि मुझे पता ही नहीं क्या होता है बाहर. In fact, I knew because I saw my mother struggle, she was somebody who was trying to, I mean, she was a very popular mainstream Bengali actress and, she did many of those kinds of films as well. But I saw her really kind of struggle to get funding for slightly alternative content when she was directing films and, projects which were not like typically whatever mainstream films back in the day, in the 80s, 90s. I did see a struggle. So I knew the situation. I knew that there were so many actors who are so talented and who never get their due. So I knew all these things and I never wanted to become an actor. That's why. I mean, for various reasons, but also that's why. And so it was not a shock or a surprise. I knew it was like this. I knew that there are some, like women are sometimes objectified in mainstream films, whether it's Hindi, whether it's Bengali, whether it's from the South, in any populist kind of cinema, often objectifies women. There are, many times it doesn't seem fair where, you have many actors who are so good, but who have not got the due. But then you have, several actors who you think, pata nahi, you don't like them, but they do great, they're very popular. So that happens and it's fine. Okay. It's normal. It's part of life.
And in the end, the show is about Mumbai. Mumbai Diaries is after all about Mumbai. And we all know that Mumbai is so different from all the other cities that at least I have lived in. Can you enunciate how is it different? 2 or 3 qualities about Mumbai that no other city has and they should learn from this city.
Well, one thing that I really like about Mumbai is that it's quite safe. I'm not saying that there are no crimes and there are no rapes and no murders, nothing like that. But compared to many other places, it's comparatively quite safe. So that's one of the best things about it. That as women, one can go out, one can take a taxi and come back at night. One can work till late, and there are many different kinds of people who live here. From all castes, from all religions. We have many different kinds of communities. The Parsis as well, who are another minority community. The East Indians. There's so many, and everybody's life is valid. Everybody has a place, and everybody's found a way to live with each other. I think that's such a beautiful thing.
I'm looking forward to Mumbai Diaries that comes on Amazon Prime, and thank you so much. Keep doing good work. You inspire a lot of women. Thank you for being vociferous about so many things and just sticking to consistency of doing good work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Atika. You take care. Bye-bye.